Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Alignment Academy. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I was having so much tech error right now, but the fact that we're recording right now is a freaking miracle. So yay. It's also 7:15 p.m. So I've never actually recorded this late. So it feels kind of weird. Feels like, I don't know, it feels a little intimate, which I kind of love. Oh my gosh, guys. Whew. I had a freaking whirlwind of a day today. If you follow me closely on Instagram, today was the day that I had my little foot incident. So I was actually supposed to get a lot more done today than I did, but I didn't because I hurt my foot this morning. I stubbed my toe and like my nail half came off, and it was a whole thing. I had to go to a podiatrist, and my foot's in massive pain and it's throbbing, and I'm also worried about my toe because I'm like, is my nail going to grow back? The guy said that he does think that it's going to grow back. But if you've ever like grown back, this is so gross, but you guys know we're pretty intimate here. If you've ever grown back like a toenail after like chipping it, a little bit of it off, it's like probably 1/3 of it came off. Hit me up. Let me know. Let me know what you did, because truly I'm trying to figure it out. And I asked the guy, I was like, so are there any holistic remedies that I can use? Like any like oils or anything that I can help the process? And he's like, honestly, no. I was like, okay, I don't believe you, but maybe you're just not the right person to ask. So who better to ask than my podcast, right? But yeah, so today was kind of a crazy day. I also just feel like I have a lot going on personally right now. Oof, gosh. Okay, so last night my surfboard got stolen from my house, and it's my fault because my landlord literally said, if you want to put the surfboard behind the gate so it doesn't get stolen, like go for it. And I just have this really weird trust in the universe, and I was like, it's not going to get stolen. And I was like, it's fine. I'm just going to put my surfboard here. And I left it there for a few days, and it did get stolen one night. And then my foot thing happened, and all my friends have so many surfboards. So like I could still go surf, but I'm like, I've been surfing so much, as you guys know, I've been telling you on the last podcast, and now I can't go for like minimum 2 weeks because my foot, he was like, you can't go into any water because you don't want to give yourself an infection. And I was like really bummed. And then I was thinking about the whole surfboard thing, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like, what energetic is this? And honestly, I just have to believe that it's because I'm being protected or guided some way to not go in the ocean right now, because who the hell knows? Maybe there's a timeline when I get hurt way worse than I am right now, and I really just couldn't go surf. So, because honestly, if it wasn't for my foot and it was just the surfboard, I would have just figured it out. I would have just borrowed someone's surfboard and still gone. So anyway, a lot going on with me in that sense. Also, my podcast manager yelled at me because she says my backgrounds are so bad and I need to figure it out. So I'm working on it, guys. I really am. But also I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you guys probably don't care that much, but maybe you do. I know I need to make it a little bit better. So we're kind of in the works with that. I do this thing with my house where like, let me just start over. I have a lot of great assets about myself, I believe. Like I am handy. I can figure things out. I'm tech savvy. I can cook if I really want to. I'm not that great of a cook, but like, you know, the gene I did not get is the interior decorating gene. I do not know how to match furniture for the life of me. And the craziest part about this is that my sister is an interior designer. She literally is. And actually the even crazier story is she was one of my first clients, and I helped her quit her corporate job and start her interior design business like 4 or 5 years ago. So you're welcome. But she has taught me so much and like has helped me with like a lot of the little things. But this thing that I do in every single apartment is I get so excited to design it, and I have her help me, and I have a whole mood and a whole thing that I'm going to do. And then it overwhelms me. And so I get the basics. I get everything that I need, right? I have everything that I need. I have a bed, I have a comforter, I have a dresser, I have pillows, things like that. But then I'm so burnt out after that I just stop. I don't continue. It's just so bad. I don't know. It's so bad. And so I'm at the point in my apartment, as you guys know, I've lived here for, 3 or 4 months. I'm so happy here, but it just doesn't feel finished. Like there's just so many things that like, it's just bare still. There's no art, there's no anything. And even with this whole podcast thing, there's not really a good place to podcast, if I'm being honest. And I also don't think that I'm quite at the level where I need to go into a studio every time I podcast, because most of my podcasts are solo. So like when I have a guest, it probably makes sense for me to go into a studio now. But like, yeah, I'm literally just giving you guys a stream of consciousness of what's going on in my brain right now. So I am in this weird spot where now I kind of do need to figure whatever the hell out. I need to rearrange my room, and me and Kristen, who is my podcast manager, talked about like different ways that I can rearrange everything, because the hard part about this apartment versus my old apartment, even though like I see the sunsets right now, like I'm literally looking at the sunset. In my old apartment, the light was like, there was huge floor to ceiling windows and it was very indirect light. So it's not like there was a bad time to podcast. As long as it was the day, like I could podcast and it looked good. And you guys know that setting. Like I just kind of did it at my desk or at my table and it was fine. But here it's like the lighting is not good. So anyway, and then Kristen was like, well, why don't you get all the podcast equipment? Like the big, like, you know, those things that are literally going to be huge and be just like sitting in my room. And I was like, I just can't do that. Like I literally cannot do that. I don't want that sitting around my house. The other thing is I'm a pretty big minimalist. Like you probably don't know that about me, but I don't have a lot of things. Like anyway, and also sorry that I look like this today, because I was supposed to record and then I hurt my toe, and then I did go to the gym to stretch, even though I know that sounds really bad, but I did go to the gym to stretch and do like a little arm thing because I can still walk. I'm still sweaty, and I was like, I can't shower and then like change and then put on a new outfit. So this is what you get of me today. You get me in my very, very raw outfit and just a sweatshirt on, but whatever. We're just going with it today. The most important part is my voice, right? The sound of my voice. And honestly, the sun is set. It went down not too long ago. So hopefully the lighting is okay. And if not, then just pretend it is, because we are at sunset right now and it's getting done. And that's all that matters. So enough about that. Today, I feel like is going to be kind of like a personal episode, but I still think that you can learn from this. However, when I was really kind of creating the outline for this episode, there was things where I was like, well, should I teach that? And I was like, no, I don't really want to teach anything today. I just want to share my experience. And the other thing is like, when I teach things, it's usually from a place of very deep embodiment, meaning I don't really need to look up too many things because I already have a lot of the information in my body or in my brain already. And so with this, since I'm still going through it, I don't necessarily feel like I'm the best person to learn from at this point, but I do think that there's wisdom in everything. And as you kind of just go on your journey, you know, you have things to share. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm going to have a personal share today, and it's going to be less of a teaching episode and more of a sharing of like the journey that I'm on right now. However, the exciting part about this is that I am going to do a 2-part, like there's going to be this part this week, and then I'm going to do another part next week. Next week, we're going to have more of a teaching episode. So this week, we're going to be talking about feminine energy. Next week, we're going to be talking about masculine energy. And if you haven't been able to guess at this time, I'm very well versed in masculine energy. I got masculine energy down. Masculine energy is that energy of doing. It's hard work. It's discipline. It's strength. It's kind of like straight shooter, you know? It's like that straight, non-emotional, let's just get it done, this is what needs to be done energy. And feminine energy is the energy of being. It's the yin and the yang, right? Like it's the energy of just not doing, but receiving and being and flowing and allowing. The thing is that your soul is always trying to come back into balance. And so while my masculine energy has served me for so long, I'm now coming to the place where now I am really tapping into my feminine energy. And this is kind of what I'm going through right now. I'm on this like little feminine ascension journey, I will say. And I'm really having to learn about how to tap into my own feminine energy. And it's to the point where I'm just noticing that my life can't really operate. Well, I noticed a long time ago. I noticed probably 6 to 12 months ago that the amount of masculine energy that was kind of running my life was just not going to be, it wasn't going to be productive or supportive for my life anymore. And I had to learn how to do things differently. And now that I'm actually thinking about it, it's funny when I'm like on my podcast, I feel like my channel just opens up and I get more information. I do feel like when the breakup happened, I did have to compensate a little bit and I needed to do a little bit more, right? Like I had to open the boxes and put things away and learn how to build things and figure it out. And that's very masculine. Like that's like very like figure out energy. And then now that I feel like I've really learned all those lessons, those deeper lessons of like holding myself through it and holding myself through everything, which is like creating that security, which if you think about it is masculine energy. Now I feel like my soul is like, okay, you have that mastered in every sense of the word. You take action. You've been very disciplined your entire life. You are secure within yourself. You provide for yourself. Like you do all the masculine things, but like now it's time to kind of like lean into your feminine, which is really fucking scary and hard and all the things. So that's kind of what we're working with today. I really learned that I couldn't really operate in my masculine again 6 to 12 months ago when I was just feeling so burned out and working so hard. And I was just like, whew. And now that I would say that I'm getting ready to, attempt to date again and just put myself out there, I'm just learning how uncomfortable that feminine energy has made me and like this energy of just being and like receiving and allowing. And so it's been this like kind of trickle of a couple things happening. And I would really say like the thing that pushed me over the edge was that back injury that I had a couple months ago when I was in Florida, and I had to like really just like sink into my being and give myself a lot of rest. And then Anna Grace, my friend who also lives in Florida, we were giving each other readings on the beach. And I think I told you guys this, like her reading was a lot about how I needed to start taking better care of myself and like lean into this feminine energy. And something that she said that really resonated, she was like, this is one of your like last Saturn return lessons of like, this needs to click in for you to really go to your next level of like being in your feminine energy. I've really been working on it since then. And then as you guys know, I had my reading with Gabrielle before she came on the podcast, and it came up again. And so in between when I hung out with Anna Grace and then I got my reading with Gabrielle, like there was a lot of work that I was doing behind the scenes. But I think that like Gabrielle kind of telling me that I really kind of needed to figure the feminine energy thing out and like helping me do that was the next step of me being like, okay, this is for real. Like I have to like really, really work on this. And so I've been on this again, feminine journey, and I just want to share the things that I've been doing to help me tap into more of my feminine energy. And like I said, I'm still going through it. So I am by no means an expert in this. Don't even really feel that embodied in it, but it like even actually makes me feel a little uncomfortable to talk about, which I know is my medicine right now. So these are some things that I've talked about out of research that I've been doing. Okay, so the first thing, and this really came up with Anna Grace, was taking better care of myself, but not in the sense like I take good care of myself, but okay, I always think that you can tell how much you care about yourself by like where you spend your money, right? And I wasn't really paying that much attention to like my hormones or like my supplements or like my cycle, like things like that. So one of the first things I did was I decided to invest in some health stuff like new supplements and getting a Dutch test. And the reason that I feel like this is kind of important is because right before I hung out with Anna Grace, I was having this period where I like couldn't sleep. I actually am sleeping pretty good right now. And I was like also just like pushing through it. Instead of going to a doctor or figuring it out, I was like just pushing through it. And I was like, no, I need to like take care of this. Like I need to figure out if my hormones are off or if I have too much cortisol or like why this is happening, right? Like why is this happening? And so one of the first things I did was, again, get a Dutch test. My friend Courtney is helping me. She like reads them and stuff. So we ordered one. I'm waiting to ovulate and I'm going to get my hormones tested and get the thing read. And just, I got tons of supplements to just be supportive for me and my cycle and whatever. So that has been the first thing, is just like investing more in things that maybe have not been important to me in the past, but I know is like the next level of taking really good care of myself. And something my guides told me is like, hey, you take such good care of your business. You take such good care of people. Like you take such good care of your things and home and like your clothes, but like you don't sometimes like look into that for yourself, And so that has been kind of a way that I'm tapping into being like, no, Kristen, you are important and you deserve to, have money spent on you and check your hormones, even though, maybe you don't care about that as much. So that's been the first thing. The second way that I've really been tapping into my feminine energy is how I've been dressing. I've been trying to buy more feminine clothes that make me feel very feminine. Like even I was like observing what I wear every day, and like I just like wear pants and like a tank top, and there's nothing wrong with that. I actually really like the look that I normally have, which is like linen pants and like a tank top or jeans and a tight shirt or like a crop top or something. However, like it's not as feminine as I could be. So I've been trying to have like more flowy clothes, more dresses, which I really don't like wearing dresses. I've never liked wearing dresses, but like skirts, things like that. And I am actively trying to buy more like clothes that make me feel super feminine. So that's the next thing I've been doing. Now, this one is like very actually just changing my life in the best way. For my entire life, I felt in a rush. I felt like I need somewhere to go. I need to do this. I need to do as fast as I can. I have something to do. I have this, 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 I have this. Now, the beautiful thing is when I got a little bit burned out in the last 6 to 12 months, I did clear my schedule a lot. And I am committed to not rushing. I used to be the first person at every event. I used to never be late. I used to always be on time. I used to just be an on-time girly. And I just don't care anymore. I don't rush. If I need more time, I just give myself more time. I've actually consistently been like the last person at most of the things because I'm like, I just don't want to rush anymore. I just have realized how I've rushed my entire life, and I'm like, I make my own fucking schedule. I'm not in a rush. Why am I rushing all the time? Why am I rushing all the time? So I am just committed to not rushing, and I've been taking it really, really slow. I get ready slowly. I put my makeup on slowly. I take showers slowly. Like everything is just super, super slow. Okay, now I have a random thought, but even back to taking care of myself, even today, like I went to the podiatrist to like make sure my foot was okay. I'm like going all over the place. Instead of like just being like, it's fine, like I'll just battle through, right? Like things like that where I'm just like taking really good care of myself, allowing myself to show up late if I need to, and not being so hard on myself. I feel like it's probably getting a little dark in here. So sorry, Kristen, my podcast editor, if it's dark, and sorry to you guys if it's a little dark, but it is what it is. The next thing I have really been doing, but this has not even been on purpose, I've just noticed that I've been doing this, has been like really just being more flowy. Like when I was really just committed to being in my masculine or just in my masculine unknowingly, I feel like I was like so ahead of my plans all the time. I was like, okay, what am I doing this weekend? Okay, I'll plan things for everyone. Okay, when are we going to dinner? And these days I'm just flowy. Like I just am like, it'll be fine. Whatever we do is fine. And I think that this is also partly like me learning to trust the universe and live in the unknown and just truly believing that anything that's for me is not going to miss me. But I have just been flowy and not really initiating a lot of plans. Like not to say that I never initiate plans, but for the most part, I'm just like, whatever we do is going to be perfect. And I'm not that pressed about it. Whereas in the past couple years like a lot of the years of my life, I feel like I've just been so like, what are we doing this weekend? And where are we going to eat? And like, let's make a reservation. I'm just like, we'll figure it out. It's always going to work itself out. It's all fine. Nothing is on fire. Nothing is going to get on fire. It's fine. Now, this one Gabrielle told me was really good for me was going to be water and surfing, like any water-based activities, just being by the water. And the ocean is so feminine. Like I always say that this San Diego is so feminine. It's the reason, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I know I've told a lot of my friends this. Like when I left Baltimore, I was deciding if I wanted to move to Colorado or California. And one of the things that really drew me to California is I've always been very masculine, like hyper masculine. And I think that Colorado was like a little too masculine for me, where California just felt very feminine. And I was like, I just love how it balances me out. And truly no one is in a fucking rush here. Like, especially the little town that I live in California, dude, like 10 a.m. on a Monday, you know, you go to New York City or anywhere else and like everyone's on their laptops working for, they've been at work for 6 hours. Like you go to a coffee shop here and most people are just chatting. There's people on their laptop, but like most people are just chatting and enjoying life. It is so feminine. It's so laid back. It's so chill. And it really just be like that. So that's been kind of fun to do and observe and kind of just play with. The next thing that I've been doing to tap into my feminine energy is I have committed to only silent walks with Teddy. So I don't bring my headphones anymore. I don't listen to a podcast. I don't listen to anything. I've been doing this for about, I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks now. And it has been a game changer. Like I feel like I can really hear my own thoughts. I just feel really, really connected to myself and like I can sort through things. And I also feel like it gives me space to remember the things that I'm forgetting. Like on my walks, I'm like, oh, I need to text this person back, or like, oh, I need to like do this thing for work. And I normally feel like I'm always in like a frantic, like, I have so much to do. Whereas like it gives me this little bit of space. So 2 times a day, I walk Teddy twice a day, and then like lunch, he goes on a short walk. But I just don't bring my phone. I don't bring my headphones. They're just silence. And I feel like it's allowing me to observe and be and look at the trees and hear the birds and think and just be present with what is in front of me, which has been really beautiful to see myself do, and just a nice way to clear your head. And so if you feel like you have a lot going on in your brain, like I can't recommend putting a silent walk on the agenda enough. Just next time, if you have a dog or you go on a walk, like just don't bring your headphones. And it's going to be a little uncomfortable at first. Like for the first, I would say, week or 2, I was like really uncomfortable. I was like, oh, I wish I could bring my headphones, or like I want to listen to something. But then you kind of start to love it and you get used to it, and it's really nice after a while. So yeah, silent walks are it. Okay, so the next thing is like being a little bit more in my mothering energy. So I was hanging out with my friend Lex, and she was talking about, she's like, oh, if I had a dog right now, I would just pour all of my energy into like loving him and mothering him and just being so like just loving. And I had this like really honestly hard, sad moment that I was like, oh my God, I am like not motherly at all to Teddy. And I know that sounds kind of weird. You're like, that's your dog. What do you mean you're not motherly? But like in terms of just like showering him with love and spending extra moments and like letting him know how much I love him when he wakes up, like things like that. Like I noticed that I wasn't doing that. And so I've been really just into being tapping into my mother energy of just like being a good mama and like taking him to the park more and like letting him do more things with me and making sure he's happy and giving him treats and like really just tapping into this mother energy that I don't think that I was tapped into. And then on top of like the mother energy, I've also been like trying to like clean more and just like be in more of those feminine roles. And usually I'm just like, I clean the bare minimum. I'll do it once a month, like blah, 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 like a deep clean. But now I'm like, I deep clean every week. I just try to enjoy the process. I put a good podcast on, I put music on. I just really like go for it. So sorry guys, there's like something in my eye, but it's been really fun to play with that and just tap into my mothering energy. And even like when my friends come over, I'm like, let me make you some tea. Let me cut up some fruit for us. And like really just tapping into like serving and being in that mother role. So that's been really fun to tap into my feminine energy like that. Highly recommend like really just doing that. The next thing is sleeping in and slow mornings. So since I was at my corporate job, even before that, I would say I was like a wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. girl, get my ass to the gym, be at my desk before 9 o'clock and be at work. Even when I had my own business, guys, I was so disciplined, like to a fault. And I think it was also because my partner at the time was at a corporate job and he was like very masculine, like almost hyper masculine. And I would just kind of go on his schedule. So we would both like wake up at 6 a.m. together, go to the gym, do all the things. And now that I have no one that's influencing my schedule, y'all, I be sleeping in these days, like 7:30, 8. I don't work out in the morning anymore. I work out midday. It's just like a completely different energy that's a lot more gentle and allows me to have really soft mornings. I walk Teddy. I make my coffee. After I walk Teddy, I eat breakfast. I've been taking a lot of time to make my breakfast and just showering myself with so much love while I make it and just putting music on and like romanticizing my little breakfast out while I watch the ocean. It's just been really beautiful to like kind of tap into that and like just not rush and be a little slower and let myself just have a couple months that I'm just like having slow mornings. It's been so nice and good. The next thing is, again, just like taking care of myself, like massages, getting my nails done. They're not done right now because I just took my gel off like 2 days ago, but getting my nails done, guess I'm not getting my feet done for a while because I just hurt my toes so bad, but getting my nails done and just like pampering myself a little bit. And yeah, just really allowing myself to feel beautiful and pampered and, get nicer makeup and spend a little more money on myself in that way, which I've always, again, been like a little bit of a minimalist and been like, I don't need to spend money on that. But it's been nice to like buy bright colors or buy cute workout sets, like just like things that make me feel feminine and make me feel really girly. And I've never really felt like a girly girl. And so I'm really trying to tap into that energy and just enjoy it. Those are the things that I'm currently doing. I know this was a different kind of episode, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it. Also, I want to say, guys, okay, so that's like the end of the episode, but if you have not rated my podcast, I'm going to ask you from the bottom of my heart, please, please, please give me a 5-star rating on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple, on wherever you listen. It helps the podcast grow so much. And if you think that one of your friends would benefit from Alignment Academy, please send it to them. Like, it's so fun when my friends send me podcasts and we all listen and then we unpack it. And it really helps the podcast grow. And so many people are like, oh, my sister sent me this. Or, I listened because my best friend was listening. And it's just so cool to hear how word of mouth really does like grow the podcast. So just going to give you that. Whoever's on your mind right now, maybe send this to them and just say, I was thinking of you. Also, if you have been considering joining Alignment Academy, the membership, we have a full month of calls ahead on the calendar, a live meditation, some co-working sessions, a live Q&A this month. It's going to be a really fun month in the membership. As soon as you join, you get access to 6 of my best-selling meditations, 7 of my master classes, and yeah, just a lot of good stuff. So hop in if you've been wanting to take the plunge. There's no better time than now. Nothing's going to change if nothing changes. Nothing changes if nothing changes is my favorite freaking quote. So going to invite you into that. But other than that, I think you guys heard a lot about my life today. So this was super fun. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys are tapping into your feminine energy. Let me know what you thought of the episode. I'm always loving when you guys DM me, and I will see you in the next episode where we talk about masculine energy and how to really harness it to help you get through your goals and further your life. And if you guys haven't been able to tell, the energy of Alignment Academy and Kristen is really just integrated her masculine. So we're going to learn some stuff next week, I promise. But I love y'all. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.